state law, California state law, recognizes transgender as protected. And so I was telling her, if you're speaking about a transgender female, they need to be referred to as a female. Transgender male needs to be referred to as a male. And if there's any misgendering, we will ask if it's by any of the organizers, they will be asked to leave. There's no exceptions. If we're having problems in the audience, you know, we may give one warning. I'll be in there the whole time. So, that's it.
You know you're incorrect, by the way. Federal courts and then in Vermont.
This is state law.
But you cannot impose a mandatory way of speaking or referring to someone.
This is treating people. This is under treating people with respect. If you're referring to a transgender female as a male, it is protected in the state of California.
All right, guys. So coming to a library / public facility near you, if Democrats are allowed to take over the country, will be kicked out of public facilities because you misgender people, okay, over your freedom of speech. That's exactly the direction that this country is headed in, led by California, which is where this story takes place, that involves a female athlete who was removed from the library. She was silenced as she was giving a presentation because she misgendered people in a hypothetical situation. Now, the name of the athlete in question here that committed the act of bigotry, her name is Sophia Laurie. Okay, she's a former college soccer player at Vanguard University and was invited to a local library in Davis, California on Sunday as a part of the Forum on Fair and Safe Sport for Girls to share her story about being a college-gate athlete. Okay, so she's sharing her story about her experience as a female athlete, and she just so happened to commit the crime of adhering to the reality of biology by referring to transgender women who compete against biological women in sports as males, okay, which again is scientifically accurate. And of course, this is California, where you're not allowed to have opinions that are different from the mob, even if your opinion is not actually really an opinion, it's just a fact about reality and biology. The mob couldn't take it. They couldn't handle it, and they got upset before the woman could even really get into her speech. Take a look.
Perfect. All right. Well, I am Sophia Laurie. I work for California Family Council. We do a lot of testifying at the Capitol, going through legislation, reading through the bills, urging people what's going to happen on the different bills, as well as I'm a host of a podcast called This Is a Woman Podcast, and the goal of the podcast is women are currently being erased in society, and I want to amplify and share their voices and testimonies. So at today's meeting, you're going to be hearing about the CIF, or here we have the Forum Vision. So the goal of the meeting is to empower and protect girls' sports and female athletes, defend the original intent of Title IX, and create a powerful network of coaches, parents, and girls' sports supporters. So you guys are going to hear from quite a few amazing people today talking about Title IX, talking about the physiological advantage of male athletes, talking about emotional and psychological impact on girls when men play on their sports teams. So you guys are going to hear from quite a different few people, but before we start, I just want to share a little bit about myself.
Are you going to misgender people throughout the entire show?
Questions are safe for the end. Thank you very much.
You will be asked to leave if you interrupt during the middle of the meeting. Please respect the library rules.
Question on misgendering. I'm sorry. Are we allowing misgendering?
Questions are safe for the end, and we'll answer any questions then and talk through things then. Thank you.
This is the library. I do not want any transgender females being called males in sporting events with females. If that happens, it's not following our code of conduct, and we will ask the person who says it to leave.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? The woke revolutionaries melted down because she just so happened to refer to transgender women as male. Okay, which again is a biological fact. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how is facts hate. Okay, but apparently it is, and that prompted a woke librarian to claim that California state law recognizes transgender women as women. Therefore, she is breaking the law by referring to transgender women as male. When, again, you know, transgender women are male. Okay, but hey, again, this is Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world, right? And this young woman decided that, hey, I'm not going to live in Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world. And she eventually started telling her story again before being cut off for misgendering again.
And at 10 years old, like I said, all I dreamed was about being a college soccer player. A dream I knew I could achieve as long as I worked hard and put my mind to it. And at 18, I was able to live out my dream. But current 10-year-old girls cannot live out the same dream as long as men are allowed to compete in women's sports. So now, no matter how hard girls work,
Can't do that.
biological men can compete in women's sports.
But which means that you will be asked to leave. I will give you one warning on that.
Nobody has to be here.
So no matter how hard biological girls work, they will never be able to be physiologically faster and stronger than biological men that are trying to play in biological female sports. Allowing biological men in women's sports does not create an equal playing field, but instead robs young biological girls of their athletic aspirations. When I played college soccer, my freshman year.
Or we'll shut the entire program down.
Prejudice and hatred is not welcome in daylight.
Please record this because we will be sending this to Can we just, why am I being asked to leave?
Because you were talking about, you were misgendering, you were talking about men and female
I
sports.
said biological. Here, we have a licensed California attorney right here.
So
Please
am I.
listen.
So am I. That's right. You did not about discrimination. I'm a licensed California attorney.
This is not your presentation, ma'am. This is not your presentation, and you are interrupting my First Amendment rights. I appreciate that you are all showing your First Amendment rights. I am a big proponent of First Amendment rights. I love the fact that you have your signs and that you are here today. But we all have First Amendment rights, whether you believe in what I believe or whether I believe in what you believe. But as an American, I am allowed to have my First Amendment rights just like you are. I am allowed to believe what I believe. I could believe that the moon is made of cheese. And you may believe that the moon is not made of cheese, and that's still okay. If you are interrupting, the library here should be enforcing their own rules and asking people to leave who are interrupting my First Amendment rights. I will begin again. My name is Erin Friday. I am a licensed California attorney. I am a Democrat of 37 years. I voted for same-sex marriage. My daughter, I think it's time for her to leave. She continued to interrupt. Why are my First Amendment rights not being abided by at a public library? I should not have to be shouting.
This is a taxpayer-funded facility, and
It doesn't
they
matter.
have to follow
If you
California
want to
law.
rent this room, you can rent this room and you can put on a presentation.
You were misgendering.
You cannot compel, you cannot compel my personal First Amendment rights. You cannot compel speech or belief. We're not calling this person and saying, you're a man or you're a woman. We're not talking about a particular person. We're talking about whether we believe in biology or not.
You're discriminating against an entire group of people.
Male and female sports, okay? If you're not a transgender female, a male,
I'm not going to have an
you are not
argument.
I was a speaker at this meeting.
you are
So
not following the ordinance.
I will leave the building if you can tell me why I need to leave the building.
You leave if she does not leave the building, the program is shut down. We're done.
I will leave the building. Can I also get your name, please? Or yeah, can I get your library? Thank you. Scott Love Library. Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. This female athlete made a mistake of relying on biology or adhering to biology, what we all know about biology, in regards to describing a hypothetical situation in sports, okay? And about how, it's going to be a lot harder for girls to achieve their dreams in sports if they have to compete against biological males who have a advantage over them. And that was apparently too much for the woke librarian, who had already given this girl a warning about, acknowledging the reality of biology. You can't do that. That's against the rules. Apparently, according to him, that's against California state law, which I don't think is true. So he decided to remove her because the mob always gets their way in situations like this, especially in California. And this is exactly what you're signing up for when you vote Democrat, right? I think it goes without saying. You had that lawyer who stood up for the athlete who was talking. Okay, she stood up and said, I've been a Democrat for, I think, 27, 37 years, something like that, for decades. I voted for same-sex marriage. So I'm assuming that in the process of voting for all that stuff, voting Democrat continuously, you also voted for what just happened. You voted for language and free speech in the First Amendment to be spit on, okay? Because that's what's happening. What's happening with these people with this woke progressive ideology is that they don't want to be challenged. They don't want to be challenged on their ideas. So what they do is that they scream hate and bigotry when you don't want to go along with their reality. Okay? When you don't want to go along with, how they want to live their life and the world, what they do is that they scream hate and bigotry to shut you up. Okay? And that librarian, the woke librarian, he was the enforcer of that. Okay? I think personally, maybe this student athlete or former student athlete should seek legal representation, because I'm not sure how is this right. How in the world can a public library kick out somebody for simply speaking the truth, right? Speaking the truth about biology. Again, if it hurts feelings, the people's feelings who are hurt should just leave. But I'm not sure exactly what these people expected when they signed up to come to a forum on women's sports and fairness in women's sports. Do you think that the forum or the discussion wouldn't talk about how it's unfair for biological men to compete against biological women in sports? You didn't think that would come up? You should have been prepared going into this forum that, hey, I might get triggered. And if you can't handle it, then you need to leave. But again, these people don't believe in free speech. They don't believe in allowing other people to speak and say things that they disagree with, even if what they're saying is factual. Because these people are not living in reality. They don't care about facts. They don't care about biology. Don't care about science, right? Again, you got people in there still wearing masks. This is just, I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not, right? That's California. That's what you get, right? That's what you're signing up for when you vote Democrat continuously, right? So, hey, that librarian should be fired, okay? He should be removed for doing that. I don't think it's against California state law to, quote-unquote, misgender people. I'm sure this woman has a First Amendment right to speak her mind and to say what she has to say, and this public worker, this librarian, kicking her out because of that, I think is a violation of her First Amendment right. So I'm just saying maybe she should seek some legal representation. But again, these people have become emboldened, right? They become so emboldened that this is what they're doing, okay? They're kicking you out. They're saying you can't use a public facility if you don't adhere to woke ideology. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.